Hello everybody, Maven here, and did you see what just happened in that intro? I saw someone do that, and I just had to try it out for myself and turn it into an actual build. I don't know if I'm late to the party or not. I'm sure somebody will let me know in the comments. But no, this is not a bug. It's just a very, very good combo. And if somebody is watching this at Bungie, I am begging you, please do not nerf this. First of all, you have to have a very specific build for it. Secondly, it uses a ton of ammo, so you really got to build around it. And thirdly, it doesn't do nearly as much DPS as something like a heavy GL. So is it broken? No. Is it extremely mind-blowingly good utility? Absolutely. So with that being said, let's break down what this is and the build I created for it so you can spam it all day long. So let's get to it. Hope you enjoy. So the GL we're using is the Martyr's Retribution. It's the Waveframe GL from last season, and if you're wondering if it's still obtainable, it is. Just go to Failsafe and pick up last season's artifact on all 3 characters. That's something you should always do at the start of every season. Go to a respective location of a certain artifact, pick it up because you can still obtain old seasonal engrams. So go do that and you can get Failsafe engrams for activity completions, and you can focus the Martyr's Retribution there at the helm. Anyways, how are we able to spam these GL shots without reloading? Well, the Martyr's Retribution is a Sane 14 weapon, therefore it has the Cast No Shadows origin trait, which says that dealing melee damage refills the magazine from reserves. And what we are doing is we're using Smoke Bombs, which is a melee attack that lingers and does damage over time. Therefore, it's non-stop proccing Cast No Shadows to auto-reload our GL for as long as that damage lingers, because Cast No Shadows has absolutely no cooldown timer. And the damage it does isn't game-breaking by any means, but it is really good for a special. And since it's not taking up your exotic or heavy slot, that means you can pair it along with something like the Anarchy if you wanted to. And just so you can sort of gauge its DPS, here's a side-by-side comparison of the Anarchy with Martyrs on the left versus a bait and switch Edge Transit on the right. Clearly the heavy GL is going to do much better DPS, but the Martyr still holds up as a special, and a Waveframe GL at that, which doesn't do impact damage like a normal breach-loaded GL does. And the fact that you have this combo available whenever you have a smoke bomb is incredible utility, as I said in the intro. And with our build of the day, we're pretty much always going to have a smoke bomb available. It's always going to be there when we need it. More on that momentarily. But I just wanted to do one more side-by-side comparison versus the king of special DPS, the Supremacy Sniper. And it's pretty tight. The Supremacy does do more DPS, especially if you land all your crits and maybe have kinetic tremors instead of rewind rounds. But with the rough take here, the Martyrs does nearly as much DPS as the reigning king of special DPS. And the fact that it doubles as a cracked ad clear weapon in addition to dishing out crazy DPS is insane. It's so awesome. It's a jack of all trades weapon. And by the way, the role I'm using in the gameplay is my Heal Clip Incandescent role. If I wanted one strictly for DPS, I would use Vorpal Weapon, in which case we might have beaten out the Supremacy in that Charles DPS comparison. But anyways, let's get on to our build of the day. Now if you happen to be mildly perceptive, you might have noticed we're using the Omnioculus as our exotic of choice, which just grants us a second smoke bomb charge and gives us some resistance while we're in Viz. And it's really easy to spam smoke bombs between our tier 8 mobility for Gambler's Dodge and our tier 10 strength for smoke bombs, and pair that along with the facet of Balance Fragments, so all of our rapid GL final blows will grant us some bonus melee energy, and you essentially have a smoke bomb whenever you need it. Now you can use the Omnioculus on either Void or Prismatic, but I opted for Prismatic for one reason only. The stylish executioner aspect works differently on Prismatic as opposed to Void. When you defeat an enemy affected by any elemental debuff, it'll make you invis. When on Void, it needs to be a Void debuff. And the reason it's better for us on Prismatic is because our Martyr's Retribution has Incandescent. So it's really easy to scorch everything, and defeating a scorched combatant will make us invis. So that means basically everything we kill is going to make us invis, and that's great for survival. So that's why we're on Prismatic, but on to the main order of business. How the heck are we going to have enough ammo to be able to spam this thing the way we are? Well, that brings us to our mod setup. Now, if you're a regular viewer of this channel, you've seen me explain the setup a million times, but if you're new here, this is pretty much what I call the infinite special setup. With a combination of charged up on the chest, stacks on the boots, and special ammo finisher on the class item, it's really easy to have infinite special. So charged up lets you have 4 armor charge, stacks on stacks doubles up your armor charge stacks, and special finisher consumes 3 armor charge when you perform a finisher to create a special brick. So picture this, you have 4 armor charge, you perform a special finisher, you consume 3 armor charge, which puts you back down to 1 armor charge left. making it so you only need 1 orb of power to reach 3 again, so you can immediately perform another special finisher. That's why this setup is so good for spamming that, so when you're running low on ammo, it's pretty easy to get back to full. Our only job to enable this combo is to make orbs of power, which we're doing with Reaper on the class item and Solar Siphon on the helmet. And to further contribute to our endless ammo, we have Solar Reserves on the chest, Solar Scavenger on the boots, and double Special Ammo Finder on the helmet to really push us over the limit. And in the background gameplay, I pretty much never ran out of ammo, and if I did, I just performed a finisher, and I was good. And since we're here, might as well go over the rest of the mods. We got Impact Induction, Focusing Strike, and Absolution for more ability spam, Powerful Attraction to make it easier to grab orbs, and then whatever resist we need on our chest for the threat modifier. Now breaking down the rest of our subclass for my other aspect, I got Winter's Shroud because it applies slow every time we want to go for the Gambler's Dodge to get a smoke bomb charge back, and killing that slowed enemy will make you Invis with Stylish Executioner. For the rest of our fragments, we got Facet of Dawn, so our smoke bomb is not only proccing our combo and a 15% weaken, but it's also granting us Radiance, so we can dish out a ton of damage. Then we got Facet of Protection because a little more extra resistance doesn't hurt. Then we got Facet of Purpose, so picking up an Orb of Power grants us Restoration because we're using Golden Gun. And speaking of Golden Gun, our final fragment is Facet of Courage, so our Goldie can do more damage to Darkness debuff targets. And we can apply a Darkness debuff with our Grapple Melee because it unravels. Now you can run Dusk Fields if you don't feel comfortable getting that close to a boss. But the reason Grapple is so good with this build is because not only does it count as a grenade ability, but it also counts as a powered melee as well with a Grapple Punch, meaning it will proc Cast No Shadows to auto-reload your Martyr's Retribution. So you can do a Martyr Grapple Martyr combo for some good burst damage. And that's about it for the build. Onto our loadout. Generally, I like Eager Edge Skating, so this is my main setup along with the Kvastov in the top slot because it has Shoot to Loot to help with our special finisher setup. But an alternate loadout, as shown earlier, is with Anarchy in the heavy slot if you're going to deal with the boss. And in the kinetic slot, you can run a primary of your choice. I just recommend something that can stun champion. And on to the gameplay loop. For the most part, it's just brain dead GL and smoke bomb spam and just perform finishers whenever you can. But one trick you should be aware of, which you might have seen me do a few times in the background gameplay, is that I will often throw my smoke bombs somewhere at an ad and then just ignore that ad and spam my GL elsewhere and come back to that smoked ad later. The reason for this is because Cast No Shadows is continually auto-reloading my GL for as long as that smoke bomb is taking damage on something. So if I don't kill that smoked ad and just leave it there to soak up the smoke bomb damage, I'll have all that time to spam my GL elsewhere. So that's something you're going to want to get a habit of in some situations. And that's just about everything I needed to say for this build. And as always, a dim loadout link for the build will be down below in the description and also the pinned comment if you'd like to give it a try. And if you got anybody who are Hunter mains, I'd appreciate if you share this video with them. This is definitely something they might want to try out. Now, once again, this is not a bugged build, and my intuition tells me that this is the way it should be and it should not be nerfed. This is a fun and strong combo. I really love this, and it's not breaking anything. It hurt no one, so Bungie, please leave your paws off this one. Let us have this, I'm begging you. And with that, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. Would love to have you here for more content on the way, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you later.